not gonna last much longer.
Falk, where? Come in. I could really use some backup.
So who's it gonna be? Who's the mighty ethereal gonna choose?
I choose... ammo.
A sensible answer.
Alright, so yeah, we had the voting in the thread, and it was closer than I thought it would be. What do you guys think? Darzen Gargle? Quartermass? No opinions?
Yeah, I think your agents really, at this point, are so far out of their depth that they really have no clue what the decision would be anymore.
Yeah, so yeah, we're going for Falk.
Let's save Myron Falk, leader of the free world, last U.S. government official, etc., etc. Blah, blah, blah.
Bye, Weaver.
Although I suppose it's not explicit. I mean, Carter's going after her, right? Surely she'll be okay. Carter's never gotten anyone killed before, right?
Well, not in our campaign.
Yeah, exactly. In our campaign, Carter hasn't gotten anyone killed. Or rather, the etherealist Carter.
I didn't even see what just killed me. It just goes to show, even regular outsiders are no joke at this point.
Yeah, with plasma weapons, outsiders can really beat you down before you even realize what's happened.
Attack!
Yeah, and I've got the, what's it, the health reduction pack? Exchanging
Oh my
health
god,
for
that's right.
cooldowns.
Jesus, you only have 3? Do you only have 3 health?
No, I have 5. I'm just injured.
Oh, okay. God.
No, if it was 3, I don't think this would be
Asians
possible.
only have 4 and 5. That's
Yep.
rough for this stage of the game. You are unusually fragile for a player here.
Well, if you play carefully, you can work around that. And I just like having access to more powers more often.
You can, but it's I don't know. It's not my it would not be my preferred course of action. It would not be my suggested course of action for anybody else.
I like being a glass cannon. So.
True. Oh, look, there's a thing. Oh, of course there's something behind it. There's always something behind it. Yeah. Just in case
you needed it.
Yeah, just in case you've been regretting your weapon choice.
Actually, the rotary plasma cannon at this point in the game is terrible.
Yeah, it's not great for the
only
player.
because you have to be standing and out of cover when you use it, so...
Theoretically, you can use it from within cover, and if you have a mouse, you can aim it well enough that the recoil's a non-issue, but there are definitely superior choices at this point in time.
This is Dr. Weir.
Could use a hand here, Doctor. You still make house calls?
Unfortunately, I'm not that sort of doctor. Falk is pinned down in the deployment wing.
I see.
Carter's on his way to you, though. He's on our side now. Well, your side, anyway.
Good luck, Doctor. You be sure to see this thing through to the end.
A lot of mushroom clouds down there.
Yeah, the Outsiders are really pounding the Christ out of the planet.
And another note is, I do like how pragmatic whoever you choose not to save is.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, little death edit there.
Yeah, there was definite direction and thought from the narrative team on that, where it was very, very important, people felt, to make it a very, very clear that no one disapproved of your choice or didn't like you for it.
Stop the bastard!
It really is either choice is bad. Neither one is what you want. You want both of them alive, but unfortunately, there's
between a rock and a hard place, and
there's only one of you.
Yeah.
Well, two of you.
There's a small audio glitch here. You should be able to hear like a ton of gunfire on the other side of the door, but it wasn't happening there.
Oh, yeah, probably. I'll confess that by the time we were testing this level the most extensively, we were not particularly concerned about audio. We were much more concerned about gameplay.
Right. And these are hard encounters.
On PlayStation, this is probably even worse. On PlayStation, it's probably much worse, but you might still actually have audio in this encounter on PlayStation, because the only time the PS3 loses audio is when it's about to run out of memory. That's not good. This just holds for the PS4 too, by the way. If you ever find yourself playing a PS4 game and your audio suddenly drops out, you're in trouble.
Ooh, and we have finally reached level 10.
That's it. You've just done it. You've maxed yourself out. What are you gonna get?
We've got a choice between extra defense or even faster cooldown times, or even smaller cooldown times. And, like I said, I like being a glass cannon, so I'm going with that.
It's not really much of a choice, to be honest. You should take the cooldown reduction.
Yeah.
Health will take care of itself. Or, well, it should, at least.
Let me change his mind.
I like to save the mind control for whenever I'm in kind of like an oh shit moment and can just quickly turn the tides. So once mutons start getting kind of close, then I take them.
Unfortunately, a mind-controlled enemy can't really use any of its special powers. So,
if nothing else, it still makes a nice target.
True. It's just mind-controlling that elite muton is a kind of a problem, because he'll path up the stairs near you to try and get to enemies that are on that bridge up there.
As opposed to jumping on them.
Right, and that means that when it wears off, he's going to be right next to you.
So it's important to save your levitate power as well?
Yes, it is. It's very important.
Alright. Goodbye.
It's a perfect example of what that level is supposed to do.
You're all dead. Shoot up! Get moving.
So if you look off to the right, you'll see, whenever you get the camera there, you'll see that there are these little cannon assemblies on the roof that are firing outsider drop pods at the Earth.
Oh yeah, I don't get a look at them just yet, but I will take a gander at them once the combat's over.
There was a fairly large amount of effort put into Mothership to this level to make sure that it looked appropriately like an enemy mothership and the sort of nexus of an alien war effort in space.
Yeah, it's a functional environment. It's not just a place to shoot guys.
Well, I don't know exactly how realistically functional it is. I mean, the geometry is pretty obvious.
Obviously, it's fine,
but still, it's not bad. It's better than a lot of other areas in games.
I was proud of that shot.
That's a very good shot, yes.
And I can't replicate that.
Well, to be fair,
He broke mind control!
he has a shield on. I don't believe.
Oh yeah, one thing that happened earlier that I didn't note was I mind controlled a enemy tech commander, and I think that also gave me control of the turret it deployed. It started shooting the enemy.
Yes, it does do that. We have to do that because
Bring him down!
if you didn't do that, the faction for the turret could become undefined, because the thing is, the turret is linked to the commander. Because if you kill the commander, the turret dies. If you kill the commander, his drones die for the
Daisy then!
for the minion commander. So they're linked together, and if the thing didn't change faction at the same time the commander did, the game would crash. Which is why that was put in like that.
Okay.
You'll get a null faction on an enemy or something.
Behind cover!
Shields here again are crazy useful.
Yeah.
Cut him down to size!
This wave here that you're dealing with is a nasty surprise if you've pushed up very far. If you've pushed up to where you're placing that power right there.
Then you get the two mutons to deal with.
The two elite mutons basically drop on your head simultaneously, and that's the end of your playthrough. Well, until you restore your checkpoint at least.
Yeah. And again, I died, or I went down earlier, so everything's on cooldown, and I've got a good 70 seconds for my mind control, so...
Yeah.
Try not to go down ever.
Yeah, I mean, as much as I like the XCOM permadeath... Wow, that was quite a scream. As much as I love the XCOM permadeath in this game...
that so much.
Yeah. As much as I love it, in the context of a squad-based third-person shooter, the permadeath on squad mates and the number of handicaps that the player is given when he goes down or an agent dies really doesn't fit well with the architecture of a squad-based third-person shooter. It really doesn't. There's no way to get around that. It fit better with the with an earlier vision for the game, where the maps would have been much shorter. Because in that case, it wouldn't have been quite as bad to not have a checkpoint, for example. So, like when you died, and that was it. And you failed the mission, and you were just restored to the base right before you went on that mission. And that would work if your missions were only 20 minutes long or something. Of course, you just have to replay it. But in this case, where we have, you know, vast majority of missions, story missions that are, you know, up to an hour long, you don't want to make the player do that. You have to have checkpoints.
Right.
So...
And again, Mutons kind of had trouble dealing with multi-level combat.
Yeah.
I mean, this one has the advantage that he's got his little jump pack, but for the long time, he was just, you know, farting around beneath me doing nothing.
I believe they have an invisible cooldown on their jump ability, so that they can't just jump everywhere all the time.
God, I hope so.
They would if they could.
Every time I use the cannon on him, I always get him down to almost dead.
Yeah.
Behind cover!
I love the little disintegration effect on it so much, I almost never get it.
Yeah. It is a real shame that we never got that we didn't have a plasma shotgun, because it would have been really nice to outfit the elite mutons with it. But unfortunately, they're stuck using scatter lasers, which is
it would have been really nice to use it myself, man.
Yeah.
Plasma. Okay.
It's something of a booby prize. You know, you kill the elite muton, you want to grab his gun, and you look at it, you go, oh wait, I got this in the second mission. This is a piece of shit. What's he doing using this?
What was the what's the equivalent of the?
Let's go.
Sorry, what's the equivalent of the plasma shotgun in 40K? It's the melt-a-gun or something.
You could make a case for a lot of different things being that. But the melt-a-gun is the short-ranged one that goes through armor.
Yeah,
so, yeah.
I want a melt-a-gun.
I think everybody does. I don't know. It's interesting. And this is getting a bit off track here, but it's interesting the way that there've been quite a few different 40K games, and the way they portray plasma weaponry versus melt-a-weapon. Oh yeah, that little bug right there. Yeah, well.
Is it what, no sound or something?
No, once the thing shoots the pod out, it just goes whoop and disappears.
Oh. Yeah. It's accelerating to like near light speed, that's why. Oh, there, I can see that one.
Yes, it is. I don't know, the way that 40K games have treated plasma versus melta versus whatever the hell has never been consistent.
Yeah, it's all been interchangeable.
I would chalk it up to GW just not really caring very much about their license in terms of games, because they realize that the games are at best a gateway to getting people into the actual tabletop game.
Right.
And so they're really not too broken up.
It's a shame. I'd like to see them capitalize more on the actual video game elements of the franchise. Man, we are way off topic.
I would have liked to see a sequel to Space Marine if Relic and
yes,
THQ had gone under.
Oh my god.
Well, because that does bring us back to this, because a sequel to Space Marine would have almost definitely been a squad-based third-person shooter.
Oh, that would have been.
I've secured this area.
I mean, much like this game without cover.
We need some assistance. Somebody give us some goddamn help.
Oh,
here.
Carter, you can't do anything right.
This area covered. Go. Use the teleporter.
Watch for my signal.
I'm interested that Falk knows that's a teleporter, but, you know, he's probably just guessing.
Well, I'm sure we've debriefed him, or we've encountered him several times in the field, whatever.
Little do we know, Falk doesn't wear briefs. He can't be debriefed.
So, whoever you decide to save, you'll have to go get the other one anyway after that.
Copy.
Yeah.
So we're going to see both ends of the ship anyway.
You will note, if you look back earlier in the video... well done. You'll note earlier in the video that we passed a teleporter as we were heading into the other section of the ship. That teleporter...
Which is where you would have started if you went this way first.
Precisely. You don't actually go back to the hub. Originally, you had to backtrack all the way through the hub. Or rather, the teleporter took you back to the hub, and then you went from the hub all the way back around. But we discovered didn't have enough memory available to stream the hub back in. So...
I think Carter just soloed a sectopod, so
He did, yes.
Asshole, but still pretty good.
He's not necessarily a slouch. He's just, you know... He's just not as good as you.
And oh my god, there's a lot of drones in this encounter.
Yeah, I will be the first person to admit that I like this section much less than the previous one. I'm not a huge fan of the geometry. It makes it hard to hit the enemies, and I'm not a huge fan of the massive number of drones.
I will admit, though, I am grateful that the drones never licked you.
Yeah.
I'm sure that's a big no-no from a game design perspective. Never take agency away from the player.
Yes,
so.
it's why the Sandman in Team Fortress 2 is a bad weapon, objectively.
It's a good dig weapon, if you can bonk someone from across the map.
Well, yeah, but I mean, the whole point of that weapon, though, is you're forcing someone to stand there and do nothing for, 30 seconds. It's the same thing for this, If you can stun the player, you're forcing them to just stand there and do nothing for 30 seconds or whatever.
Exactly, and that's just, no one likes that.
Yup.
Although in the context of a multiplayer game, it's super satisfying because you know you're annoying the other person.
Yeah, but I still think it's not a great design decision for power to take agency away from another player. You can do it slightly more subtly and achieve the same effect, but you don't have to completely make it obvious that you're taking the agency away.
Right. More along the lines of the what's the gun that makes you go slow? The Natasha?
Maybe. Yes, I think so. Although there's been a lot of TF2 balance arguments that Natasha is a terribly designed weapon as well. But I think that has to do with the fact that TF2 is a game that's very, very much about movement, and that anything that impairs movement is really difficult for people to deal with.
You want movement, go play Quake.
Yeah, well, as opposed to this game, where movement, for example, is really pretty unimportant in the grand scheme of things. Really, you want some good cover, but you rarely, if ever, need to transition between cover pieces.
Right, it's placement more than movement.
There were originally enemy powers that forced you to move from your pieces of cover. They had a scatter equivalent. The plasma field obviously does do that, but almost nobody ever casts that. And yeah.
And here's that was just kind of a silly decision on my part. All I've done is made this fight longer.
Yeah.
If you mind control a solo enemy, your squad will not do anything to it. You can't tell them to use your powers unless they're AoE.
Yeah.
I can tell him to do an airstrike there, but I can't tell my other guys to start shooting the damn thing.
Yeah, because he's not a target. He's not a valid target.
So until it wears off, not much I can do.
Yeah, it's okay. At least it's not shooting at you.
Well, I can shoot it, actually, so...
Ready!
Well, let's just focus on this little sectopod duty
Boink.
there.
It's the world's
Almost
most confused
through the
sectopod.
Well, yeah, you can see how much damage that one shot did.
Yeah.
I mean, I've got combat stems on me, but still.
Shoutouts to Palladium Books for naming our alien ammo energy clips.
Bring him down! Get your head down!
I guess it's better than energy suitcase.
I really should have. I really think we should have just named them kinetic ammo and energy ammo, but that's just me.
Now it's a little more fun. Now I've got the sectopod with something to shoot at.
Yeah.
Take cover there!
So, in case anyone's having trouble understanding what this area of the ship is, and I wouldn't blame you, this is the factory. This is the war factory area. And this is where sectopods and other things are assembled. Those black pits are ferrofluid/nanofluid pits that are full of nanomachines that construct sectopods. Do not ask where the sectoid comes from. I like to think that they sort of have that little cockpit frame around him, and they just sort of dunk him into it, and then the nanobots make the sectopod around him.
You know, that's probably how it works, actually.
It's not a bad idea as far as it goes. But
yeah, I didn't get a good look. But if you look up at the ceiling, there's conveyor belts or things that are shifting new sectopods around.
Yes, there are.
Cool.
we had some funny bugs involving those. Those things were originally the full-size sectopod model with the full-size high-poly sectopod model. So the exact same one that you see right there, disintegrating in front of your eyes. That was the same thing that was hanging from the ceiling, and there were about 40 of them in any given scene. People were wondering why.
Yeah, I can see that being. I can see that being a problem.
It was quite a problem. Yes. I don't think we're getting a good view of this right now, but it's worth mentioning that when your Scion commanders mind control your dudes, they do the same thing that they did to the sectoid in that cutscene back in Flood, where they have the slow hand-to-head, and then eventually your agent shoots himself in the head, which I think would be unsurvivable, but apparently, nanomachines.
I've never actually seen it do anything because, you know, I always killed them.
It's a pretty good animation.
I just assumed that when they got mind controlled, they'd slowly turn on me after a few seconds, but I guess
No,
not.
they don't. They actually commit suicide.
Well, anyway, the thread voted to kill Carter, so...
Oh, not yet. Shh, you're spoiling it.
Yes.
God, all he did was get goop over his fit. Oh.
Sad strings.
Bugger it. They got you, Angela. Bastards.
You were the best of us.
You were the best of us.
Jesus,
sorely
I forgot
missed.
that was actually the line.
Ah, well. That's what she gets for running clear to the wrong end of the arena with all the enemies still alive.
Man, she was there before they got there.
Oh, that's true.
Actually,
that's true.
the I believe the explanation.
They're trying to get here.
Yes, the explanation for it is I believe the outsiders let the whoever dies get all the way to the end of the section before ambushing them, so they had no cover. So
Not a bad plan.
No, not a bad plan. And well, even Carter couldn't do much about that, which is why you come across
Master
Carter.
Carter was at the opposite end of the arena.
Yes, because he comes in after.
Carter?
I'll man this terminal.
Good man.
You can just
Don't thank me. Once that barrier's down, we're enemies again.
On my signal, then. Back to the main chamber. It's time that barrier came down.
So we still got 3 people to activate the 3 nodes.
And how did that resupply container get there?
Who
Video
knows?
games.
Angela dragged it with her.
But she never got in here.
She might have done. She might have left the room to try and fight.
I'm picking apart my own game.
There must be no division.
I don't know. Personally, I prefer Joy Division, but you know, whatever.
I'm more of a multiplication man myself.
Oh, okay.
Let's get this done.
All right, let's hope this doesn't, taser us again.
Barrier is coming down. Through in just a moment.
I don't think so. Not with the ethereal, anyway.
Watch this. Oh, god damn it, goes Carter. Every single time.
You can't be serious. We have origin
He
within
really
reach.
didn't expect
You're
that.
just as dangerous. Sorry, Doc. You're collateral damage.
Well, let's try and convince him here.
Let's give it a shot at
Help me
least.
against Origin. Fight me after if you want to, but for God's sake.
No deal.
He really doesn't like Howie Mandel.
You can still walk away from this, Carter.
No, I really can't.
Yeah, you can.
You totally
Don't
could.
force this.
You got
I don't
got
want
legs.
to kill you, Carter.
I don't want to kill you either.
That is a bald-faced fucking lie. He really wants to.
You can walk away. I'll get Carter back under lock and key, if that's what you want.
I'll kill you, fucking alien monster!
Yeah, there. You made your position quite clear, Carter.
Jesus.
Good man. So, when the game first came out, this was what we watched 20-something times in a row from people streaming it, except they had a lot less hesitation than you did.
Well, I guess, video game players, if you give someone an option to shoot something or not shoot something, their natural inclination is to blow it away.
I guess.
Wanted to be your
But
enemy.
the dialogue we heard from them during the streams was usually something along the lines of, "No, fuck you, buddy."